What's good, R&B squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word I have today comes from something that I was shown in the spirit and also from a dream that I had. And as per usual, y'all know what I always say at the beginning of these videos. If there are some things that you find you can relate to as you listen, and not everything is relatable to you, take what's for you and leave the rest. Eat the meat, spit out the bone. So I'll get right into what I saw in the spirit and then the dream. In the spirit, I was shown this person that was standing outside of these two doors. And I understood immediately as I saw this person standing outside of these two doors that these two doors represented options for this individual. Now, both doors were labeled, and they had interesting labels on them. The first door was labeled God's Way, very clearly in very big, bold writing. And the other door was labeled Idolatry. But it wasn't just labeled idolatry. Idolatry was like the umbrella label, and underneath it came all of these other labels, these smaller labels, and some of these labels said things like witchcraft and evil. And the person standing outside the doors did not hesitate to make a choice. They went right through the door that said idolatry. And that was the end of what I saw in the spirit. Then I had this dream where I saw the same individual who was standing in front of the doors. And this individual was reaching out to their family members, reaching out to their friends, their loved ones. But their friends and loved ones and family members were all pulling away from them. They didn't want to have anything to do with them because apparently going through the door that said idolatry came with consequences. There was backlash happening in this person's life now. And these people, their loved ones, didn't want to have anything to do with them because of it. And that was the end of the dream. So now there are those of you who have been standing in the gap for people. For some of you, this could look like an old friend. It can look like family members. It can even be an acquaintance. And it has just been on your heart to pray for this person because God puts a quickening in your spirit and let you know that these people or this person, that they have been leaning toward the dark side. They have been leaning toward evil. And so you've been praying for their salvation, as you should, rightfully so. But here's the problem. There are some people who seek instant gratification. And for some of you, it's not a family member that you're standing for or a friend or an acquaintance. For some of you, this is your enemy. And they're not even your enemy because you did anything to them per se. They're your enemy because they're just bothered by your existence. What all of these people have in common is that they are seeking instant gratification. They want an answer to their questions now. If they see something that they want to get their hands on, they want it now. And you see, the reason why they will not choose God's way, which is exactly what I was shown in the spirit, the door that said God's way, and that person didn't even bother going anywhere near that door. They just instantly went through the door that said idolatry. The reason why so many of these people do not go God's way is because it doesn't offer them the instant gratification that they're looking for. And also they're afraid that even if God does answer them, He is not going to answer them in a way that they like. Maybe they're not going to get what they want from Him. They can't control God. They cannot bend God's will, or they can't bend God to their will. And underneath all that, the underlying reason for all of this is them wanting to have a sense of control. And listen, the enemy goes hard in seducing people and trying to convince them when he knows they already have control issues, when he knows they already want to grab at things, when he knows they're already impatient. He has a way of seducing them into thinking that his way is better because his way can give them that control that they're looking for. His way can give them that instant gratification that they're looking for. There are actually whole podcasts and entire articles written about that, where people are advising other people that they need to take a hands-on approach to their lives. And the way to do that is to dabble in the occult. There are podcasts and articles out there advising people that they should not just let life happen to them and leave things to chance. And that Christianity and believing in God is too passive. You got to take a hands-on approach to what happens in your life. And the way to do that is to dabble in the occult so that you can show up as your highest self. And there are people that fall for that because it sounds really good to their ears. The idea that they can have what they want by having an advantage, a supernatural advantage over other people, appeals to them because they already have control issues to begin with. They already have issues with patience to begin with. They already like to have things right now to begin with. So the enemy catches them real quick with an offer like that. Problem is, that offer comes with consequences, and they don't read the fine print. The enemy hides the fine print from them. So now the long and short of it is that these individuals, they are now reaping what they've sown. Consequences, the consequences of choosing the occult, the consequences of choosing idolatry, the consequences of choosing evil over God's way are now starting to show up in their lives. And what's more, the people around them who used to be their support system, the family, the friends, these people are getting all the way out of the way because they don't want no smoke. And I do not blame them. I don't lay blame on them for doing that. Because listen, when somebody's getting judged, if you just happen to be associating with them, you happen to be there, you can very well get caught in the crossfire. It can happen. So these people, as they should, are backing away, pulling away from this individual, and they're feeling afraid and isolated now because they have to face their judgment on their own. So y'all don't be surprised when you start seeing things happening to people and it's going to leave you baffled. You're going to wonder how did this happen? But I just saw that person yesterday and today and things are going to start happening around you. You're going to start seeing things. You're going to start hearing of things suddenly happening to people around you. But take note of the people whom these things are happening to. It's going to be the people that you were standing in the gap for, hoping that they would find salvation. But you knew in your heart that they were hell-bent on doing evil. Literally hell-bent on doing evil. So it is a judgment hour. I said in a few words back that this is the time when God is coming with his reward in his hand. It's going to look different for everybody according to their actions, according to their deeds, according to the state of that individual's heart. The reward is going to look different for everyone. So I hope that this message reaches the right ears. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.